Okay, so we've turned up at Barum Engines down in Barnstable. Been watching him for a long time, mentioned him quite a few times on my channel. And this is his place. He's having a bit of work done outside. You can see he's got his logo up there. That's his clean room for doing all his engine building and stuff. So yeah, that's his flash old van. Look, that's a nice thing. That it's a yeah proper van. So right, let's go and see Lee and see if he'll show us about. So we're here with Lee, Barum Engines. He's going to show us around. I've mentioned him on the channel a few times. What's your story? What you done?
So, yeah, you can see we've made a few changes, mate, over the last, well, 6 months or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, prior to that, we were sort of happy. You get stuck in your ways, don't you? And
yeah, exactly what I started.
Yeah, it's a bit like that.
Just every day you go home, nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed.
Customers.
It was all right while we weren't, I suppose, doing the YouTube channel and had several thousand people watching us. But yeah, we were stuck in our ways. It was a bit grubby in here. We didn't really have enough room to work, as in doing the engines. But back then we were sort of doing more everyday repair garage work and stuff like that. So it was a lot of cylinder heads in and out.
So you were doing trade work for them, where?
Yeah, we were doing a lot of trade work.
Just doing the head skims and things like that, and they'd do the rest.
That's right, yeah. This was when I was employed here, so I was probably here for 15, 16 years.
Right.
And then we got the opportunity to buy the place, John and I. John was sort of above me then. He's been here for God knows how many years.
So you both bought into it?
We both bought into it. We're partners.
Yeah.
But John has sort of stepped back, let me get on with it. I sort of made a plan on where I wanted to be in 5 or 6 years' time, and
yeah,
I could see the future of it being sort of competition and classic stuff, really.
And that's why you've done all the clean room and...
Yeah, so the clean room, be honest with you, we never really... It was something that I would like to do in the future. It was always one of them, but it was only when people started watching the channel and pointing it out.
Yeah.
You don't realise when you're here, but you go back, watch the videos and think, yeah, they're right. It's a bit of a, you know.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. So before it was just an engineering shop, like the old school proper
it was, yeah.
Like
we had sort of stuff lying about, old machinery, and we just, the engine side of it, the actual, you know, the classic engines and the performance engines was very much secondary to the general repair stuff and the trade work, really.
Yeah.
So obviously then when we started the channel, that's what we was aiming for, and we got a lot more. We then put ourselves sort of nationwide and just ended up getting a lot more work, so we could back off on that. John sort of does the cylinder heads and the smaller stuff.
So you still do sort of trade work?
We still do trade work, yeah, but it wouldn't be, I'll be honest, without the channel now, a lot of our stuff was local,
yeah, and
it was definitely a dying trade. So
yeah, it's not.
We would be struggling, I think.
Yeah, it's not something people do now, is it? It's just buying engines and that's it, isn't it?
That's it, yeah. So we set about use the YouTube channel, I suppose, more so for a marketing tool.
It's worked?
It's worked, yeah. It's done the job. It's put us on a much wider scale. You know, we get the opportunity to do, fortunately, we can almost pick and choose our work to a certain extent.
It's definitely a nice place to be, isn't it? Instead of having to bend down to every customer that comes in.
That's
got to try and please everyone, and yeah, that's the biggest thing I changed on my business was, you either accept the way we work or we're not interested.
No, that's it, and that's the way we've got now.
We've just started taking deposits about a month ago. We was booking so far ahead, and we was having a booking 6 cars a day. Hopefully, 4 of them would turn up.
Yeah,
and you can hear them on the phone. The customers, you're just going, yeah, book me in for 3 weeks' time. So you're not going to turn up. You can't be rude to them. So now I'm like, yeah, give me £150, and I'll book you in.
That's it.
And them ones are now dropped off. They go, oh, no, I'll phone you back.
Yeah.
And the true customers, really good people, go, yep, no problem. Here's my card details. I'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah.
Lovely. And so, yeah, that smoothed it right out.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest, when we sort of made our final decision on doing this area, it was when the YouTube was taking off, and we really still only had a room to do 3 or 4 maximum engines, really.
Yeah.
So people were sending them in. We had probably half a dozen to a dozen engines sitting under the ramp waiting to be done.
Yeah.
No good. You know, and we were ending up.
So how many can you get in here now?
Well, we can probably have about 10 or so on the go.
Yeah.
Which means that as soon as they come in, we can get them in bits, get the process started.
All parts separated.
Yeah, all the parts on order, and sort of get the ball rolling with it, because we've got a lot of the time we've got 4 or 5 engines on the go for several weeks.
Yeah.
So the turnaround of them seems to be a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
nice.
So it seems to be working, mate.
Spot on.
But it's trying to sort of get bigger without getting too big, if you know what I mean. It's like, I don't want to expand as in start taking on more staff. And
I didn't want to do it. I've just taken on one apprentice, only because he's shown his true colours. We've got Mercedes breakers next door, and he's just cleaned the place up.
Yeah.
And even his work ethic, I don't care how good he is at work, just he turns up every morning.
Yeah.
Place is immaculate. If he hasn't got anything to do, he'll go and find something to do.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's brilliant. So
and they've got fresh ideas, and it's the same with Isaac, really.
Exactly. And now he's doing exactly the same as Isaac, just sort of recording me. I record him.
Yeah.
So when I get back, he's got 2 weeks off, and then we're going to start smashing that. So,
yeah.
So all right. Can we have a look through the other bit?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So this is the old part, then, is it?
So this is the original part. Yeah. So what we've done is obviously get rid of a load of stuff that we don't use. Everything in here now, although it's still a bit of a work in progress, it's everything in here we use.
Yeah.
So the idea was to keep the back end of the workshop the dirty area, and so we bring stuff out here to clean it and do all the work and what have you. And the theory is once we've cleaned it and it's machined and painted, it goes in there. And
so you do paint them in house and everything. You do the whole. There's nothing you can
everything.
Can't do. The
only things we can't do at the moment are line bore.
Yep.
Blocks. We've got line boring gear, but we're missing a tool.
Right.
We don't balance V8s because we're not set up, which we probably will in the future. But and white metaling we don't do.
Yeah.
But
is there much of that? Is there now?
It's one of those things where the white there is white metaling gear for sale, but it's quite expensive, and for how often you do it, it's one of those where at the moment we're sort of busy enough doing other stuff. So it's like with the balancing of the V8s and stuff, we've got a company that's really good, really reasonable. We just ship it to them, let them do it, and
you've got to choose your work. And there's so much work I can do.
This is
do DPF work. I could do electric cars, hybrid cars. You can't do everything.
No.
You spread yourself too thin.
No, and some of the head porting we don't do. I send that to places, and it's just you can't do everything. It's different if you're sitting around twiddling your thumbs waiting for it.
Yes.
You could probably be doing it yourself, but when you've got enough to do, you just know at the moment we're all right. We do enough, but we do pretty much everything else.
Nice.
So we've got crank balancer over there, head refacer, milling machine, boring bar, everything really.
What's your plans for the future then? You're going to be...
So the future, we obviously want to get the clean area and that half of the workshop finished.
Yep.
If it'll ever will be, you know what it's like. Once you make a plan on getting it finished, but then once you're back at work, you sort of put that.
Yeah.
So in the next year, we'd like to get all that finished, office built up the top.
Yeah.
And just make that look really smart and tidy. And then obviously we'll just start, I suppose, cleaning this up. But we don't want to clean this up too much, believe it or not. It's quite nice having a nice clean area and then coming out.
Yeah.
And this is...
Get your hands dirty.
Yeah, it's proper hands dirty. So we quite like it, really.
Yeah.
The way it is.
No, it's spot on. But you're not looking at expanding and having 3 or 4 different workshops and things like that.
We did do. Yeah, we did do. As I said to you, I had a chat with you earlier, we got excited for the first year or so. But then we had another member of staff, and to be honest with you, for me, you end up more busier for not really much more money.
Yeah.
And I think if we went bigger, you've got more rent rates, which we don't have here. Mm-hmm. It's all that money again to earn.
You've got so much more to get another 20% in there.
Just even 50, one more wage is a lot of money to find every year. So,
I had 3 or 4 people working for me about 6-7 years ago when I had enthusiasm, and I had to fix 60 cars a month before I earned a penny.
Yeah,
like, how does that work?
And you're the one with the stress, and that's the problem.
All the other lads just go home, do what they want to do,
Yeah.
And then after 60 cars, I'll start earning the quid. I'm like, why am I doing that? So now, I know the exact point of the day I'm earning money, and I'm not interested in taking over the world anymore.
No, I'm the same, mate. We get to do, we enjoy our job at the end of the day. We come in, enjoy it.
Yeah.
We all get on. We get to do our projects, and what else do you want, really? I'm never going to set the world alight doing it, but we're sort of making good of a dying industry, really.
That is a thing. I think it's going to go very specialised.
Yeah.
I really do. You know, I think there's going to be DPF centres, tow bar centres, you know, just everything. Engine money faults, you know, that's a trade on its own, you know. People think, oh, I could do so much more, you know, but I fix electrical faults and I've got a diagnostic kit. But have you done that? But, you know, everything's specialised. Like I say,
well, like I said to you,
too thin.
before COVID, before we bought the place, I always wanted to get more involved with the competition stuff. So I did set about. I'd already done the groundwork on sort of heading that way anyway.
Yeah.
And then once we got into the YouTube, that's obviously escalated it quite a lot. But fortunately for us, around COVID time, a lot of places that were, you know, a lot of engine reconditioners, they were the older generation. They weren't into that. They were doing the everyday trade work, and it just died out. And obviously, once COVID come around, it finished a lot of people off, which, you know, I hate to say it, but it has benefited us. A lot of we do a lot of work for a lot of people that, you know, engine builders. They haven't got their own in-house machine shop or anything. They'll farm the work out, so we get a lot of that now.
And then they'll just build it their end.
And then they build it their end.
Just the engineering.
So they just send it here they'll buy their own parts or whatever, and we just do the machining and balancing, give it back to them, and they just put it together, really.
Yeah.
So we don't mind that at all.
That's good though, isn't it? So yeah, you've made a go to YouTube and you made a go to the business.
That's it, mate, yeah.
You know, so it's going in the right direction.
Yeah, really.
So, well, hopefully I'm coming back this way next year. See what changes you made.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Yeah, hopefully.
That's all this little bit is about. Is I want to go somewhere what is still trying to move on, not going big, but, you know, making little changes. And a lot of trade people have come to me and said, well, how's deposits working? How's that working?
Yeah.
I'm not no businessman, you know, but I'm having some ideas, sharing ideas, and if we can all gain a little bit from it,
that's it.
I think it'll be a good little thing. So,
I mean, even from our earlier videos, you see how much we've sort of progressed in the workshop.
Yeah,
we cringe, don't we, when we watch some of the earlier videos now and think, oh, dear, mate.
I will be putting some clips in of the early workshop and how it looked.
We used to get offended when people comment about the workshop, but then you look at it now and think, yeah, I know what they're on about.
Well, that's life, isn't it? You look back and when we was younger, things we used to do. How did I get away with doing that?
This day and age, the look of it and it's, you know, the social media, it's very important.
And social media, it will kill you as quick as it builds you, doesn't it?
It will, yeah.
You one person slags you off, everyone joins it. You know, so you have got to be careful with it. So well, thank you very much for letting us come down.
That's right, mate. Come over next year and see if we made any more changes.
So done. Nice one.
Excellent, thank you.
Cheers, mate. So yeah, very interesting place. Goes to show how sort of versatile you've got to be in business. When you see something changing, you've got to change with it, you know. Like it says, the engine building, gone are the days where you're taking off, see how we were heading, face it off, and it's all okay, you know. That was his bread and butter work. Same as last week's episode was up at Russ's, you know, they used to build engines, sell engines, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, quite interesting how he's changed it all around. He knew where he wanted to go down the performance side, so he's gone to that. Obviously got all his clean room and that set up. So yeah, a quite impressive place. So yeah, I'll leave a link down below if you can go and check him out. Him and his apprentice Isaac, you know, the lad who was filming us. He films Lee quite a lot. They sort of backwards and forwards, very similar to what I'm going to be looking at doing with me and Barney. Instead of just talking to a camera. So yeah, go and check them out. As you can see, I'm back at home now. This is actually a home office I've just set up. I do all my soldering and stuff in here, and I'm also looking at doing a little podcasty type thing where if I can't get to a garage and they got something to share, you know, we can just do a little recording thing, just chat Sunday night. Takes no time. As long as you've got a camera, you sign into a link. And then we can have a chat about what change you're going to make. Maybe then I can come and visit you afterwards, something like that, you know. So just keeps the old RMS on tour a bit more versatile. Again, same as what Lee's done at Barum Engines. So let's just show you what we got going on here. So this is my home office, but I've got literally I do all my sort of soldering and stuff. You can see there, microscope. You know, it's just doing that. I've got a short on that. So I thought I might as well set it up. It's a microphone and a stand. It's nothing special. So yeah, so if you are a garage owner and you're interested in having a bit of a chat, having a bit of waffle, I'm more than happy to do it. Always interested in what changes people are looking at making, how they're going to change it, what plans they've got for the future. So yeah, get in touch if you're interested in that. Go and check Lee's channel out. So yeah, I'll see you in a couple of weeks. It's going to be every other Sunday. If it gets bigger, it gets bigger. But at the moment, we just put it from out every couple of weeks. I've got to go and see someone local, I think. Just got to speak to him. Once he's seen this video, he'll see the sort of stuff we want to do. And then, yeah, hopefully he'll be interested in showing us around his place. So, right, thanks so much for watching. See you in a couple of weeks.